Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome to Sunday Shooting, a brand new series where we look at shoot 'em ups across the ages, across the platforms, in all sorts of places. I'll work out a better tagline for it in the near future. Anyway, today's game is Eschatos, which I have the Xbox 360 version of here. It's half of a pack that comes with another game called Ginga Force. And this is one of the Xbox 360 games that is actually region free, so you can buy the Japanese version and play it wherever you like, which is nice. It's a really nice package, this actually. So it comes with Eschatos on one disc here, and it also comes with Ginga Force on another disc, and it's got a soundtrack CD as well, which is cool. So that comes with a selection of music from both games. So it's not the complete soundtracks to both, but it is a nice selection from both. Eschatos also comes with two additional games as well, called Judgment Silversword and Cardinal Sins. We'll cover those separately at some point, but they are included as part of the Eschatos pack as well. So there's actually 4 games in total to enjoy in this one bundle, which is nice. Eschatos itself is also available as a standalone game on Steam, as are Judgment Silversword and Cardinal Sins as well. So if you don't have an Xbox 360 or you don't want to shell out for an import copy of this because prices are probably going up now, then yeah, you can get a digital download version of those as well. Eschatos is one of my favourite shoot 'em ups of all time, and in today's playthrough you'll hopefully get a chance to see why. So let's jump in and take a look. Okay, here we are with Eschatos, one of my favourite shoot 'em ups of all time. This is the Xbox 360 version we're playing here. So I haven't played this for a little while, so I'm not going to promise any great performance or anything like that. Not that I ever had any great performance at shoot 'em ups at the best of times. Just going to check the controls because I do know that the PC and the Xbox 360 versions have slightly different controls. So A for one kind of shot, X for another kind of shot, shield on right trigger, and speed on right bumper. Okay, that makes sense. Controls in this aren't terribly complicated, as you'll see. Alright, so there are 2 ways to play this. In fact, 3 ways to play this. There is original mode, advanced mode, and time attack mode. Original mode is what we're going to be playing today. This is the way that most people seem to like this game the most. It's the simplest way. There's no sort of worrying about power-ups and stuff. It's just simply about enjoying the experience, trying to get as high a score as possible and trying to survive to the end. Advanced mode adds the ability to get pickups and power-ups, and there's an interesting sort of risk and reward balance system in this one, where the stronger your shots are, the weaker your shields become. And shields are actually quite an interesting mechanic in Eschatos, as you'll see when we come onto the game. And time attack mode, basically... it's what it sounds like. It puts you on a flat difficulty level, which I think is equivalent to normal mode on original mode. And yeah, you just have to clear the game as fast as you possibly can. So we're going to play original, and we're going to play on easy because I'm rubbish. And also, I'm not only rubbish, I haven't played for a little while. So let's enjoy that, shall we? Here we go. So, in Eschatos you have 2 kinds of shot. You have the wide shot, which doesn't go very far. And you have the narrow shot, which does go a long way, but doesn't have a very wide arc. And so, success in the game is about knowing when to use which kind of shot, and how to destroy enemies quickly. So, you'll notice as we play, we build up a multiplier at the side of the screen. Every unbroken wave of enemies contributes to that multiplier. So if you destroy everything in a wave of enemies, depending on the difficulty level, your multiplier may go up by 1. You see it's gone up by 1 there. On the harder difficulties, the multiplier rises more quickly, so you can gain higher scores more easily on the harder difficulty levels. And yeah, you just proceed that way, really. Those little capsule ships there, what they provide F-bombs, rather delightfully, which are... You don't have standard bombs in this, you just have those F-bombs there. This is the shield at work. The shield you have attached to the front of your ship. So what it means is that any frontal attacks coming in, you can absorb using that shield. at least as long as its energy lasts. And you see the energy bar for the shield in the corner of the screen there. And so there's a number of situations in the game where the shield is very, very helpful. You can just sort of sit in one place and let the enemies come to you, really. So as long... Oh, no! As long as your energy holds out, then yeah, you can use the shields to take out a decent bunch of enemies. So, and you will also notice that getting destroyed causes you to lose your multiplier, which is a real bummer when you're approaching the boss. The other thing that goes on with the multiplier is that if you let just one enemy get past you, then it will drop down by a level. And when I say one enemy, I don't mean one wave of enemies, I mean literally one enemy. So, and that includes in these boss fights. So if I let any of those incidental popcorn enemies go past, I will lose my multiplier. And so you need to keep a really careful eye on what's going on. And not only destroy the high priority targets like the bits of the boss we've got here, but also make sure... Yeah, see, I've missed a couple there already and my multiplier's back down to its basic level. So yeah, as well as destroying those high priority targets, you've got to keep an eye on the popcorn enemies as well. So, as you can probably tell, this game is heavily set-piece based. So all these boss fights are very scripted. And so you need to get a feel for the different triggers, the different ways to predict what's going to happen, the various telegraphs that the enemies will send to you. And of course, high scores are very dependent on learning the levels. Because these attack waves, they're not randomized, they're the same every time. And so you just need to familiarize yourself with what's coming when, how to deal with it, whether it's a strong enemy like that one there, or if it's just a bunch of popcorn enemies. Or in some cases, even if they're enemies you can destroy at all. There are certain sections in the games where there are enemies that are pretty much indestructible. And in most cases the game is generous enough that you can let those past you without losing your multiplier. The game's also pretty generous with extends, as you can see. And this is true not just on normal difficulty that we're playing here, but on the higher difficulties as well. So as long as you can survive long enough to get to the various points that the extends show up. Again, those are always in the same place every time. This is what I love about this game. Like, there's so much going on in the background. Like, the 3D graphics in the background are just so lovely. And obviously, it's not like the most super technically advanced game or anything like that. The actual models and stuff are quite simple, but the sheer speed it moves at and just what's going on and the way it's all choreographed is just an absolute delight to play. I always loved this game ever since I tried it for the first time. Still love it now. I'm remembering right now why I've always loved it. And this part coming up is a particularly great moment. So this is a sort of mini-boss here. We have to blast our way through these spinny things while avoiding all the bullets. And the horrible nasty lasers that they fire at us. And the stuff on the ground. So starting to take him down now. There they go. Okay, here we go. This is the best bit. One of my favourite bits of the game is just to whoosh up into the sky. Oh, shivers down the spine. I know it's not like a huge, super dramatic moment or anything, but just the way it's so triumphant. It's so, yes, I'm gonna take on these hordes, and I'm gonna win. Maybe. So see that one there, that's the situation where the
the wide shot was much more useful. Another extend, very nice. We're up to 3 times multiplier. There's a maximum that it can go up to on easy level. I think it's 5. And then if you go on normal, that can go up to, I think, 10, if I remember rightly. And then presumably hard mode can go even higher. I don't know. I've only tried normal mode a bit. And I used to be able to fairly reliably clear easy mode with a single credit. Again, I'm not promising that today or anything. But certainly the shoot-'em-up genre, as you probably know by now, is not a genre where you should be too proud to play on easy modes, because so many of these games are all about learning the levels, learning the attack patterns and so on, and it's much easier to do that if you deliberately take a little bit of the pressure off yourself so that you've got the opportunity to learn those things, but just under not quite so intense circumstances. So in this game, for example, like all the attack patterns, they're all the same. All the enemy patterns, they're the same on the higher difficulty levels. It's just things like the bullet patterns are just a little bit more intense. Some enemies shoot that don't on easy difficulty. So you might find yourself having to do a bit more dodging on the harder difficulty levels. But the actual basic set pieces and the overall structure of the game is identical on all the difficulty levels. So it's best to learn the game on easy and gradually graduate to the higher difficulty levels as you feel comfortable and confident with them. Because there's a lot to learn. Okay, here we are. So this is one of those situations where there's stuff that we can't destroy here. So like these big floating space poos. I'm sorry, I can't think of them as anything else. Yeah, you can't destroy those. You just have to dodge those. And we've lost our whole multiplier. Good going, Pete. More space poos. Yeah, I just love the presentation of this. Like, the music is fantastic. It's a deliberately sort of lo-fi sound, so it's sort of heavily inspired by FM synthesis. But it's one of those sort of kind of modern retro feels, if you like, in that it's not deliberately limiting itself to the capabilities of a particular old platform like the Mega Drive or something like that. But it is making use of the iconic sounds of that kind of era. And I really like that. It's because it's something a bit different from what you might typically expect. Yeah, so this level is really cool, as you can see. The whole level is basically one big boss fight. Oh no! Oh dear, doing terribly. Yeah, one gigantic boss fight. There's some interesting changes in perspective. So most of the game is top-down, vertically scrolling. But you see there's a few parts that we've seen there where you're kind of going in and out of the screen, as well as up and down. Such a good explosion. Oh my god, I love this game so much. So good. Oh no. Never quite been sure how to handle that bit. And that, in theory, would be a good point to use the shield mechanic. But it never seems to quite work. Okay, anyway, boss time. Proper boss time now. Instead of a stage-long boss time. This one's not too horrendously difficult, I don't think. Famous last words, I know. So yeah, there's the other thing with the shield. It can absorb bullets. So you can basically block bullet attacks. And you really need that, given that the only time that you can actually cancel bullets in this game is using those F-bombs. And you can't count on those appearing. They do appear every so often, including during... Oh no! Including during boss fights, as you can see, but you can't count on them being where exactly when you need them. Definitely not going to one credit clear this today, but I will take us through to the end, just because the final stage of this game is something really special. Okay, and onwards. Brief moment of peace as we speed towards the enemy forces. This is a great spot to build up your multiplayer. These lovely, predictable enemy paths. They're good enough to even draw the path that they appear on for you. Isn't that nice of them? And you'll see at the top of the screen, although there is a time attack mode, there's actually a sort of timer mechanic in this game as well. So you'll get bonus points according to how quickly you deal with particular waves and encounters in the game. So even when you're just playing on the normal modes, it's in your interest to try and clear things out as quickly and efficiently as you can. Oh, much needed extra life there. The key thing in this, just like in more sort of bullet helly titles, is just not to panic. Just try and relax. Just try and keep an eye on what your ship's doing, where your ship is. And try not to get distracted by the absolute mayhem that's going on around you. And take full advantage of the things that are available to you, like the F-bombs. Oh, that wasn't very good, was it? Yeah, so for example, this bit on normal difficulty, those green ships that come flying in, that they just try and ram you on this mode, but on normal difficulty, they're also shooting at you, so it just makes it a little bit more challenging. It's the bullet hell spider. Now it's dead. Another wave of those, I don't know what you'd call them. Rail enemies. Again, even when you've got an enemy moving as speedy as that, you just pay attention to what's going on, keep an eye on things, don't panic, and you'll be absolutely fine. So this is actually a game that I quite recommend to people who don't play a lot of modern shoot 'em ups, who maybe aren't used to sort of bullet hell and that kind of thing, who maybe don't feel like they're up to the challenge of a lot of the more difficult shoot 'em ups. So on easy mode, as you can see, this is actually a pretty accessible game. Oh, I hate this bastard! Use the shields. And dodge. Oh, fuck for that. Right. Oh no! Oh no! So scary! Die, please die. There we go. Whew. Didn't think we were going to make it there. So yeah, I mentioned at the start that this has got a PC version as well. The Xbox 360 version that I'm playing here, it only came out in Japan, but it is a region-free Xbox 360 game, so you can buy the Japanese version and play it on any region, the Xbox 360, which is really nice. Especially because it comes in a pack with several other games. So it comes in a pack with Ginga Force is the other game in there that I don't think I've tried yet. And this series is as good an opportunity as any to give that a shot for once. And it also comes with the two spiritual predecessors to Eschatos, which are Judgment Silver Sword and Cardinal Sins, both of which are wonderful shoot-em-ups. Judgment Silver Sword is very much basically this game, but running on a WonderSwan colour. Whereas Cardinal Sins takes all of Judgment Silver Sword's graphical and sound assets and then completely changes the game structure over the top of it and makes it into a really, really interesting kind of challenge-based game. Big fan of that, so we'll definitely come on to those at some point. Whew. Hanging on by a thread. Oh no! That's what I mean when I say you need to pay attention. Okay, let's continue. As much as I hate to leave behind that score of 2.5 million, here we go. Oh no! This really isn't going well. Concentrate, Pete. Concentrate. Now, there's some longevity to this game. I can't remember if they did the same in the PC version, but definitely the Xbox 360 version. Over time, according to like your total score and the number of times you play and the number of times you clear it and stuff, you unlock certain things. So like initially you can only continue once, I think. I've played this enough to unlock 8 continues at this point. Not that I should need those on easy difficulty, but if I did, say, want to challenge normal mode or hard mode and try and get a better feel for those, then yeah, those would come in very useful, I'm sure. So yeah, you may well have noticed that this boss here it's sort of a reprise of the first one, but with some twists, with lots of twists, in fact. So this last phase in particular is very... In fact, this isn't the last phase if you look at the health bar at the top. Yeah, this phase here is quite different from what we had previously. And then again, we have this last phase here with the core poking out the side there. This is very similar, but again, running at a high speed, different bullet patterns to deal with. Again, making good use of your shields is very helpful. And of course, using the F-bombs to cancel bullets as appropriate as well. Oh my god! I didn't realise they were going to keep homing for that long. Like I say, it's been a while since I played this, so yeah, my memory of some of these attack patterns is a little bit hazy. Nearly done. Oh, the speed! There we go. Filling the skies with Cheerios. Beautiful. Alright. I think we're approaching my favourite bit in the whole game. Yes! This is the last stage and it's just wonderful. Ah, this music! Those of you who have been watching the Moe Gamer podcast for a while will recall one of our early episodes. We talked about the goosebump effect with music. And this game is a perfect example of that for me. As this last level just remixes the theme from the first level into a more dramatic form. And that is absolutely one of my favourite things for a game to do with its soundtrack. Look at that ridiculous speed. So good. So good. This game is so good. If you do not have this game, then get this game, please. I am begging you. If you have the slightest interest in shoot 'em ups. Mini boss dealt with. Very nice. Oh! Ouch! I felt that. Yeah, I'm very much feeling like I want to start revisiting this game again and start getting good at it again. Because I did get pretty good at this at one point. As I say, a 1 credit clear of easy mode was something that I could do pretty reliably at one point. I know in the grand scheme of things, a 1 credit clear of easy mode isn't much to be bragging about, but you know, when you're not amazing at video games in general, or you're an old man like me, then yeah, it's nice to get a sense of achievement in a tricky, tough game like this. Because make no mistake, I know people like to difficulty shame in some cases, but when it comes to shoot 'em ups, as I've said, there is really absolutely no shame on making good use of easy mode to learn what is in store for you. Ah! So many enemies! Get out of here. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to fly to the core of your secret space moon base thing, and you just throw spiders at me. We're nearly there, everyone. Nearly there. No, don't fire your big cannon at the Earth. Oop. Scary, very definitely final area music. Yeah, this one is pretty terrifying with those lasers coming out the back of the screen at you. You just got to watch out for those telegraphs and just make sure you are not in the way when they go off. And watch. Oh dear, this is going terribly. I am an embarrassment to myself. Get out of here. Area 25, the big one. Don't you fire that shit at me. Spinny death blades. Oh, and death lasers everywhere. Here we go. Such a great last boss theme as well. Like I say, it's got that perfect kind of modern retro sound to it. Oh my god! Well, let's interrupt that great music with the continue. Oh, dear me. I can only apologise, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, no one can say I didn't set expectations. Give me that bomb. No! That's blowing myself up. See, those bullets there, those are too big to actually block with your shield completely. So all you can do is sort of fend them off a little bit rather than actually absorbing them. Oh! Oh no, I survived that. That's good. No! Get away. Yeah, so you kind of... Although this is a 2D game, you kind of have to think about 3D space a little bit as well. In terms of how the enemies are moving in and out of the screen as well. That'll do it. That's not the end, is it, surely? I thought there was another health bar to go. Nope, that's it. They finished the game with the most pathetic score possible. It was the worst possible time to lose all my lives, wasn't it? Oh well. You've seen the whole game now. Lovely bit of FM synth for the ending. Oh, you do get a million points for finishing the game, and then a million points per remaining life. So that's still probably the worst possible score you can finish the game with. Alright, so that is Eschatos by Coot. I think you pronounce it Coot with a Q. As I say, you can get this on Xbox 360. I don't know how easy it is to get hold of now, because obviously rarer Xbox 360 stuff is getting more difficult to get hold of these days. But if you look somewhere like Play Asia, I think that's where I got my copy of it. And that was maybe 3 or 4 years ago at this point. But if you don't mind going all digital, then Dejiga Games released this as a digital download on PC. And that's available via Steam. Not sure if it's available anywhere else offhand, but if you just have a look for it, then yeah, I'm sure it will show up. Alright, anyway, no, definitely not saving a replay of that. Yeah, so my best score there is nearly 6 million points. That would have been a 1 credit clear on there. So I think that's asking if I want to save replays or upload my scores. Anyway, that is Eschatos. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, and I'm going to be playing this a whole lot more, having revisited it and reminded myself just how much I love this game. Oh my god. Wonderful game. Wonderful game. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moegamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.